Alright guys, welcome to the channel. Today I will be doing a review on the Radian Ramjet Afterburner on the Glock 19X platform with a threaded barrel. Specifically, we will be discussing the Radian Ramjet Afterburner with the micro comp. All of this while I try to perform a quick deep clean on the gun and share some of my experiences hands-on and some eyewitness accounts of the Radian, right? So, all right, first, Glock 19X MOS threaded barrel FDE color, which is my gun of choice for this build. This is my first Glock product. It was between this or the Shadow Systems, so I obviously decided to go with this because the Glock brand are the originators of this design, right? Not that the Shadow Systems are, bad or, they're excellent products. They also have their things too, but I just had to go with the original for the first build, right? So here I have the Glock 19X, again, with a threaded barrel, the MOS cut. So you can install any optic you want. It's basically ready right out of the box. I believe this option's about $100 more than the traditional non-MOS cut, which is that one, right? So additionally, it has a Hollow Sun 507C with the red reticle, right? This one's the one that has the options where you can change from the circle to, I believe it's the circle without the dot in the middle. And then you got the actual, all these little options. Then it's just the dot, right? And this comes with the Shake Awake technology, right? And then second, we have the Talon grips, the Solo Fish light, which I will tell you this SL122 is about 650 lumens with strobe capabilities and a blue laser. And one thing about my weapon is everything is pretty, high end, I would say, with this, the Radian, that, all the stuff I add to it, or I'm going to add to it, except for this thing right here. However, that doesn't make it any less good. I've zeroed this thing in one time since I've got it. I've shot about 5,000 rounds, and I've not had to re-zero this thing at all. So for a sub $50 light, it has its functions, I would recommend it 100%. However, I will be getting rid of it because my only struggle is that at this point, my friends, cannot find a holster for it, right? Which low-key sucks because, I can't holster it. So I've had to make a makeshift one, which I won't show on here, which is pretty embarrassing. But, you get the point. So anyways, let's continue. So the next thing is the product, right? This is the Ramjet ported and fluted barrel, right? The finish is a burnt bronze. The barrel itself is ported and fluted, which that's what these grooves or channels are, right? Milled into the surface, which make it fluted. It means that the gun has a better weight reduction by removing some material from the barrel, making it lighter, and it also gives it an improved cooling capabilities. The increased surface area created by the flute help the barrel dissipate heat more quickly, which is important for accuracy and preventing overheating during extended shooting sessions, right? And lastly, which is the most important part of this whole thing, it has tremendous aesthetic appeal, right? Which all fluted barrels have. majority of them do, which is really the reason why we all spend money on these things, right? Check it out. It has a 9mm, the little logo on there, the micro comp, right? This right here is their self-tightening system, which we'll talk about in a second. Now, one thing to know is that fluting a barrel can cause it to compromise the structure of the barrel if it's not done correctly. So make sure you get one that's done correctly, or very minimally, right? If it's a little bit, it's not a big deal. It's just something to keep in mind while you shop for these fluted barrels. And my favorite thing, I will tell you on this, is this right here. This right here is its loaded chamber indicator. Let me point it out here. When you install it, let's see if I can get it. There we go. Through this little window, you can see the round, which adds an extra layer of always needed safety, right? Because it's easy to forget when you're around guns or you're working on them, or, you know, doesn't matter. It doesn't hurt, right? And next, we have the micro compensator with its gas sealing chamber, which is when you connect it, which you see right there. Boom. When you connect it, this combines the gas while it exits the port cuts and at the tip of the barrel, creating, honestly, an experience like no other, which we'll talk about in a second. I think this right here is honestly what I like to call the Radian secret, right? And then lastly, we have their interlocking mounting system, which is a tapered screw, right? When you install, you'll see right now, you need a certain amount of PSI. Now, this is called their patented intra-lock mounting system, which uses a tapered lock principle, a tapered locking screw that interfaces with an angled V groove, which is this right here, right? And this perfectly times the compensator as it locks down onto the upper barrel profile on the end of the muzzle barrel, right? The interlock allows the user to simply slide the compensator on the barrel, insert, tightening the locking screw, and making it for a simple, repeatable installation process. That means that's good when you're cleaning this thing, right? Every time you're out of the range, clean it up, easy to do. This allows the system, my bad, I've been trying to say, this system allows the user to easily remove the barrel from the slide for cleaning, right? And here's the thing. This is one thing you're going to experience for sure. One thing you need to know about cleaning this thing, which is very important, is that after periods of extended shooting usage, right? Just like any other gun, it gets hot. The only thing is that this locks up due to something called carbon lock, right? So what you have to do, what they recommend is that once you grab it, you spin it, you take it out, you spin it, and you take it off. They say it's easy. To be honest with you, if you really use this thing, it will lock on you. So all you got to do is spin it, and then as you clean it, you see what the solution is for all of that, right? And then it'll be easier the next time, right? So these three parts are the Radian Ramjet Afterburner, right? So honestly, like I said, this isn't a review where we are just installing it. Like, I've shot easily 5,000 rounds through the gun, probably a good like 2,500 through the Radian Ramjet. And man, one thing I can honestly say is they claim to have a recoil management reduction of about 44%, which is almost basically half from the stock Glock. And honestly, I believe it. It feels way more the second you put this thing on. It changes the game, right? So let's talk a little bit about it more in a sec. Let's open the thing up. Let's put it on. So I like to do that real quick just to see how it looks, right? Boom. Your regular safety, take that off. Open this up, do that, the whole shebang, right? Of course, when I'm recording, it's giving me a hard time. Boom. And that's on too. All right, so put that there. Take this apart. Just like any regular time. Take the threaded barrel off. All right, let's get it. So, take the barrel out. I say goodbye to that thing. I'm gonna lube it up for you guys just to show you how I do it. So, the first thing I do is I clean it up, right? One of these, attach this little napkin, boom, scrub. So it should be quick. This shouldn't take you all day. All right, let's get it. You know, I just cleaned it earlier and it's still kind of dirty. All right, put that slide down. Next is lower. Now, clean this part. Grab one of these. The reason I said a deep clean is I was going to take this pin out and pull this out and show you, but you can do that on your own. So that's pretty much clean, right? Now, let's install the Radian. You grab this, get the barrel, just like any normal barrel, boom, in, right? You install the micro compensator. Now, one thing I do want to point out, here's what I think the secret is. As the gas comes out, right? You notice how the two ported holes are here. If it didn't have this thing, it would shoot them sideways, right? Or somewhat. With this thing, this chamber, what it does is, if you notice there's a little hole, it creates it, catches, and it forces it to come out. So when you're shooting, the experience looks something like this. Instead of it going like this, boom, 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 it's like this. Not like that. That's the motorcycles in the background. All right, so it's like this. Pretty flat. I'm sure you've seen it online, right? So you put that on. You find that self-locking screw, a tapered screw that's so easy to lose. Now, here's the thing. You've already spent $400. Get yourself one of these. Make sure you do it at 15 PSI, right? So right in the middle. All right. Put that down. Simple, right? Install that. Cool. Done. Nice and tight. Now, what I'm going to do is, I totally forgot to lube this up, but since I cleaned it earlier, I'm just going to do a little quick clean. Matter of fact, give me a second. I'm going to go ahead and let my dog in. All right, I let my dog in. Meanwhile, I took this opportunity to take the screw off. All right, let's lube this thing up. Cool. So number one, if you're new, you just started doing this, or if you've used other products, this thing, two things. Mossy oak looks great. It's green, smells amazing, and it's easy to use. Check this out. Done deal. Put that on the side. Now, here, one thing that I heard from that dude from the Glock channel is that you always want to put some lube where the metal interacts or touches the other metal, right? So right here, might be a little too much. So what I like to do is just dab it, kind of leave just a thin layer so it's not dripping everywhere, right? And same thing on the barrel. Simple. It's not to be perfect, but you're just gonna rub it up. Good, huh? There we go. So now it's got a thin layer of oil right here, obviously, and then right here. So we put that down, and then lastly, lower. Right. Boom. Let's put it all together quickly. So again, install. Put this down. Screw. You didn't see that. Even my dog got scared. He's always scared. What a wuss. For some reason, he knows exactly what guns are. It's pretty wild. The second he sees a gun, he runs for the hills. Which is interesting because I never really show him. All right, so check it out. Lastly, install the spring. Done. Let's get it. Now, as a kind of like a last measure here to make sure it looks great, what I like to do is take one of these microfibers, kind of rub everything in. So if there's any extra oil, it gets rubbed into the gun. It smells good. Right? Boom. Look at that beauty, huh? These are excellent for cleaning the optic. You know, I was going to do a deep clean and go get up all in there, but I don't think you guys know what you're doing. All right, guys. Perfect. Looks like we're done here, huh? So, lastly, my experience. Would I buy this product again? Absolutely. As a matter of fact, I've made a decision that I will no longer purchase a Glock without having a Radian in it. That's how much I like this product. It changes it into a completely different gun. And one last fact about this thing. So this is the 19X, right? 19 slide, 17 lower. I've heard, I don't know where I heard this, but it seems to me that this is pretty accurate. When you add this thing, you're essentially creating a Compton ported G17, right? Because it's got the lower. This gives it that extra, length. So, just another way to build a Glock. 1,000 different ways to build these things. However, beautiful. It's never failed me. Like I said at the beginning of the video, the one time that something happened was my first day going out of shooting at the range. I just had a failure to eject, but that had to do because it was so stiff and brand new. After that happened, first round, after that, never happened again. And like I said, I've shot over 2,000 rounds on this thing. Not one actual failure or nothing, jam, nothing, right? So this thing is super duper reliable. It's probably just as good as any stock part. So I highly recommend it. Radian, good job. Continue to kill it. Hopefully I'm able to get one of your guys' model ones, or you send me one, whatever. But I am a Glock / Radian household from this point forward. So you guys have a good one. If you have any comments, if you hated my video, whatever, let me know. Love you guys. Take care. Have a good night.